Joining me on the show is Shaina NC, BJP leader and spokesperson from Mumbai. Raj Punj is a political analyst associated with the Shiv Sena. Munish Pandey, my colleague tracking the Enforcement Directorate, and Sahil Joshi, our managing editor in Western India. But before that, I want to cut across to Priyanka Chaturvedi, Shiv Sena's deputy leader in Rajya Sabha. And Priyanka Chaturvedi, I want to begin by asking you, ma'am, the Enforcement Directorate has alleged lack of cooperation by your party MP, Sanjay Raut. They say he's not joining investigations. They're talking about tampering of evidence. ED says that's exactly why they require custodial interrogation, because of this lack of cooperation. Then why complain, ma'am?
I don't know if you all heard the statement of his brother, Sunil Raut ji, who said not a single document was asked for. At 7:30 a.m. when they came in, all the documents that were needed were all in order, but they were not asked for. And speaking of cooperation, how does one cooperate? Every summon given to him, he was attending to, he was going to the ED office. It was just the last two summons which he could not attend because the parliament was in session. He gave it to them in writings, requesting for a change of date and postpone it to post-parliament session, where he could come and cooperate with them. But I do not know what was the tearing hurry for them to not, give him an alternate date and go to his house and arrest him, detain him, arrest him. And not a single shred of evidence was asked for. So this non-cooperation, etc. also fell flat today in the court, where they were asking for 8 days of custody. They've been granted 3 days.
3 days. Okay, fair enough. Now, Sanjay Raut's brother, of course we heard what Sunil Raut had to say. He also claimed that money found in the house, incidentally, belonged to Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. Claimed this wasn't personal money, but party funds that were meant for the trip of members of parliament and leaders of the Shiv Sena who were to go to Ayodhya. Ma'am, if that is the case, why was this information not shared with the Enforcement Directorate? Why tell the media now?
No, ED cannot, because, two questions you've asked me. Why was it not told to the ED? We cannot report our day-to-day activities to Enforcement Directorate just because they're investigating on a case which has nothing to do with the cash found in the house. It has to do on the basis of some charges that they have been levying on him, and a case which is 20 years old. So that is point one. Now point two, about telling the media. I'm telling you, all the sources-based information, right from audio recordings that have been leaked to media, have been coming from Enforcement Directorate. And by the way, I call them Enforcement Directorate less now, and I would rather call them Extended Department of Bharatiya Janata Party, because they're working on their behest. So they have been putting out sources-based information, and media was questioning Sunil Raut ji. He answered them honestly, whatever the answer was, and he's given it to them. If Enforcement Directorate feels otherwise, if Eknath Shinde ji feels otherwise, they can come clarify.
Okay. No, but Priyanka Chaturvedi, Uddhav Thackeray says he's proud of Sanjay Raut. Abhiman hai. ED says there is evidence of money laundering. Isn't your leader, ma'am, prejudging this case? Why not wait for courts to decide whether Sanjay Raut is guilty or not based on evidence?
Because all the evidence that has been, used by the ED, which is none as of now. There's no documentary evidence to prove any of these charges. There is no case against him. These are all cooked up charges that you are seeing, and we are confident that he would not cow down under this pressure. It is political vendetta at its best. And let me quote you a simple figure. And we say this with utmost confidence because, and respect to whatever parliamentary question that I had put in has been answered to by the Minister of State Finance, where he has through figures told us that 27 times increase in ED investigations and summons ever since this government came into power. 2004 to 2014, around 200 odd summons, and from 2014 to now, over 3,000 summons have been issued. Now let's look at the conviction rate. Again, a part of my parliamentary question. They're asking him how many have been charge sheeted, how many have been convicted. The number is 23 people have been charge sheeted or convicted. That's 0.5% of the summons notices that you all are sending across. What does it speak of? It speaks very clearly of Enforcement Directorate becoming extended department of BJP, working as per the script of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So we speak with confidence that this is nothing but a political witch hunt against Sanjay Raut ji, because he had been speaking vocally against the government, whether it was in the centre, whether it was in the state.